It is because of the needy that you get a chance to practice your compassion. If there were no needy person, you have no chance to practice compassion. So be grateful. So if you are going to give some money to the beggar, be grateful to the beggar and give it with a lot of respect. Otherwise, don't give. You know, don't give it with contempt. Give it with a lot of respect. Thank you for letting me help. That is the Buddhist attitude. So serve the needy with a lot of gratitude. That is compassion. Okay, mudita. Now mudita is the third Brahmavihara. Again, the Buddha refers to parents. It's when parents rejoice over the success and happiness of their children. When your children are successful, for example in school, aren't you happy? Are you jealous? If your children do better than you in the SPM or PMR or whatever, if your children do better in university, are you jealous? As a parent, I hope not. Parents are never jealous of their children. Parents are so proud. You go to a graduation, right? You go to a graduation, who are the happiest? Not the graduates, the parents. The parents are the happiest. They are brimming with pride because the children have done so well. They're even happier if the children do better than them, right? Parents, yes? Yes. That is mudita. And again, we must extend this altruistic joy. It's called altruistic joy. It's joy, it's happiness, but it's altruistic. That means it's selfless. You're not thinking of yourself, you're thinking of others. You're happy for others. That's why it's called altruistic joy. Extend this to your friends. Extend this to everyone. Everyone that you meet. So if you and Uncle Vijaya's example, if you and your neighbor buys a lottery ticket, you know the example, right? Difference of one number. Your neighbor wins and you lose. Can you feel joy for your neighbor? Some people shaking their head already. You are very honest. You are very honest, which is the first step. Being honest is the first step to self-purification, isn't it? Yeah? You lie to yourself and say, yeah, I can do it. Actually, cannot. That's no good. At least you're honest. I can't. I just can't. Good that you're honest. So do better next time. Practice it. Yeah? Because there's no point feeling jealous. When you feel jealous, aren't you burning yourself up? Who is jealous and happy at the same time? Right? Jealousy is a defilement. Jealousy burns you up. The moment you're jealous, you are miserable. You are suffering. Your neighbor is happy. He's won the lottery. And you are suffering like crazy. Why create suffering for yourself? Why not go over and congratulate him? Maybe he will give you a treat, right? Maybe he'll share part of his riches with you. Why not? Be happy. Be sincerely happy. That is mudita. And most people tell me mudita is the hardest to practice. They feel that mudita is so hard to practice. I don't know, maybe because jealousy is very much a part of our culture. Competition, that creates a lot of jealousy. Okay? So mudita is the antidote for jealousy. I try to think of mudita as happiness FOC. That's how I try and coax people to practice mudita. I tell them it's free of charge happiness. Because you see, if you want to do well in life and be successful, don't you have to slog and work very hard? You have to slog and work so hard, then you're successful, then you rejoice, I'm successful. Mudita is happiness FOC. You just go around and see who is successful. I want to share in your happiness. In that way, you don't have to work so hard to be happy. You just want to share in people who are successful. Brother Paul is successful. I want to share your happiness. I'm so happy for you. See? You get happiness all the time. You just go around hunting for people who are successful and share the joy. So happiness FOC. The Malays call it tumpang gembira. It's in the Malay culture. Learn from that. Saya tumpang gembira. They go around and say, oh, you have done well. Saya tumpang gembira. We also tumpang gembira. At the same time, we also have to work hard. Okay? While we tumpang gembira, we also have to work hard for ourselves. Don't forget that. So that's mudita. And the last one is upekkha. Upekkha is equanimity. Big word. Upekkha means an unshakable balance of mind. It's rooted in wisdom and insight. where the mind can keep very still, very calm, and at peace, no matter what happens. When you see the four Brahmaviharas, you've got metta, you've got karuna, you've got mudita, happy, happy, happy. Then you have this upekkha. Upekkha is asking you to keep very calm and serene and still, so that you don't get too overwhelmed by the other three. For example, you talk about compassion, that's the easiest to understand. Sometimes we feel a lot of compassion, we see suffering, we feel a lot of compassion, we want to help. Genuinely we want to help. And we try our best to help. We do so much and yet we fail. Correct? Can't that happen? Yes, it can. You try your best, you give so much of your time, your love, your energy, and you fail to help the person. Ask doctors, they would know. They try their best to heal a person, the person dies. That's where you need this equanimity, to know that you have done your best, but the person has his or her own karma. You have done your very best, so this is the time to let go, let things flow. You have already done your best. But the point is, you have to have done your best. Okay, that's the point. You do the very best that you can, then it's time to let go and let things be. Right? So you see, upekkha, we need to have an understanding of karma in order to cultivate upekkha. We need to understand and accept that all beings are owners of their own karma. People come with their own karma. For example, I have tried to nurse and I have saved birds from the roadside that are injured. As much as I try to help, I take them to the vet, I beg the vet, please help this bird, and so on, they die. They still die. What do I do? I have to practice upekkha to know that I have tried my best, and yet I cannot help, but I have given my best. So the bird that I tried to rescue comes with his or her own karma. So you have done the best that you can, but you can't control the results. We have to remember that. We cannot control the results. We can just do the best that we can, very sincerely. So we need to understand impermanence also, that everything is impermanent. So for example, we're full of metta, full of joy, mudita and so on, but these things don't last. They are impermanent. If we cling on to all this, and we refuse to let go, but when they have to leave, we will suffer. So equanimity also requires an understanding of impermanence, that things just don't last. You're very happy when you're happy, but the happiness will not last. It just will not, because everything is impermanent. Only one thing is permanent, and that's the nibbanic state. That's what we're all striving for. Permanent happiness is nibbana. Whatever happiness we experience now is all impermanent. So if we cling on to it, we are in trouble. The same as relationships. Very good relationships, husband and wife, for example, friends. It may not last. That's the truth. It may not last. Okay? So upekkha, again, the scriptures describe it, again, parental love. But what kind of parental love? Now your child has grown up. You know, it started with metta, your only child, new baby. Then karuna, your child is sick. Then mudita, your child graduates. Now it's a time for your child to leave home. So when your child leaves home, do you cling on to your child and say, no, don't go, don't go? You don't. You have to let your child go. You have to know that you have done your very best and it's time to let go. And what happens to the child after that? Can you control the results? You can't. Some parents make the mistake of still wanting to control, and we make the child miserable. The child will go further and further away. So we can't control the results. So what happens is, you've done your very best, now it's time to let go. Being able to let go is part of having equanimity, upekkha. And you see, there's one article I read, the person describes upekkha as grandmotherly love. You know, grandparents are very cool, right? Parents are very anxious. Parents, first-time parents especially, are very kanchiong, very anxious, everything. She was a little bit sick, cannot take to the best doctor, and so very anxious. And then the grandmother and grandfather sits there, been there, done that. Relax lah, they tell you. Why? Because they have been there, done that. They have experienced it before. They are looking over with wisdom and patience. So upeka, the word